What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today is some very surprising news because we just learned that there is a Mass Effect Trilogy that's being remastered for next-gen consoles, it seems like, and additionally, there is a completely new Mass Effect game that has just started development. Now, I want to look at all that news, but first we have to actually fulfill a promise. I did say that if the last video got 3,000 likes, I would lick my PlayStation 5 controller, so a deal's a deal, and I'm here to fulfill my promise. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's talk about the freaking glory of Mass Effect. I absolutely love these games, so before we even freak out and start to speculate, let's look at their official press release. So this is over on the BioWare blog. It was literally posted just a couple seconds ago. And I sped read it. It's got some interesting details in here if you're paying attention. It's tough keeping a big secret, and we really struggle to keep this one a surprise, but now it's official. Today we're announcing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We've heard for years your request for a Mass Effect remaster, so we're happy to finally reveal that we've been working on a remastered edition of the Mass Effect Trilogy. This is hyped. I honestly already love this official art. Looks so freaking cool. But now we come to the part that I think is going to be a little bit controversial or decisive. For many months now, our team at BioWare has been hard at work updating the textures, shaders, models, effects, and technical features of three enormous games. Our goal was not to remake or reimagine the original games, but to modernize the experience so that fans and new players can experience the original work in the best possible form. So there was a rumor going around for a while that this was going to be possibly built from the ground up, especially Mass Effect 1. One of the rumors going around was that Mass Effect 1 was getting remade in the Mass Effect Andromeda engine to make it where it would actually play faster and have a more modern sense, because Mass Effect 1 is definitely the most classic RPG of the trilogy, and I do think it's the one that some people are going to probably have the most trouble with, because quite frankly it's not a third-person shooter. But this confirms they are just the original games. It's been amazing to see the adventures of Commander Shepard take on a new life in super sharp resolution, faster frame rates, and beautiful visual enhancements. As game developers, we always hope that our games will transcend their original platforms. Having the opportunity to remaster the trilogy means that the fruits of a decade of our work will live on and will be experienced better and clearer than ever before. So they're really doubling down on the fact that this is just going to be straight up the same games, just slightly with a fresh coat of paint, which is good. I kind of did wish that there would be some sort of tweaks, but let's finish reading this part here. Mass Effect Legendary Edition will include single-player-based content and DLC from Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3, plus promo weapons, armors, and packs, all remastered and optimized in 4K HD. This will be coming to spring 2021 for Xbox One, PS4, and PC, with forward compatibility, targeted enhancements for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So, not coming to Nintendo Switch, but coming to everything else. And before we even go on, I'm definitely buying this, A. And B, I just have to say, this sounds legit. I am buying this, and I'm definitely playing on my PS5. I mean, yes, yes, yes. But I do find it interesting that they decided to include the fact that this is only going to be the single player. It sounds like they're removing the multiplayer from Mass Effect 3. Now, controversial opinion, I didn't particularly love the multiplayer for Mass Effect 3 anyways. It was just kind of a horde mode, and while it was well designed, I'm not even going to pretend that it was bad, I just kind of grew bored of it after a time. So the fact that it's not in there, I'm not personally going to miss it. Now, here is the craziest piece of news that I think people are going to be talking about the most, but it's this. Meanwhile, here at BioWare, a veteran team has been hard at work envisioning the next chapter of the Mass Effect universe. We are in the early stages on the project and can't say any more just yet, but we're looking forward to sharing our vision about where we're going next. Where we'll be going next. Now, this part of it is interesting. So, part of what made Mass Effect Andromeda kind of hated, I think, isn't the fact that the game was glitchy and stuff. I do think that a lot of people were disappointed by the fact that we were in a completely new galaxy. Like, going to the Andromeda galaxy kind of just took away a lot of the pressure of the Reapers and stuff to suddenly take us out of a universe that had already so much finalized lore. I do think that that was a major turnoff, especially for the most hardcore of fans. So, something about this phrasing here, the fact that it's the veteran team is hard work on where we'll go next. I think that they're basically saying that they're going to, again, choose a new location. Does that mean we're going back to the Milky Way galaxy? Does that mean we're going to somewhere else past Andromeda? I guess we're going to find out. I do like this little image, though, but let me just read the little closing, because I do think this is pretty sweet. For me personally, the Mass Effect represents years of work and countless special memories, so every year I feel incredibly fortunate to celebrate in 7 Day with players around the world. Thank you so much for supporting us over the years. I can't wait to continue our adventure together. Things are sounding especially juicy. If there's one thing that this thing is definitely the most correct about, it is that the Mass Effect fans are some of the most dedicated people I have ever known. People just do fan art and get tattoos of, like, Garrus. They are just so into it. In fact, I even discovered this morning, which is somebody doing some Final Fantasy VII art inside of Mass Effect. It's super cool. Full credit to this Emi-san Arts. I love the Mass Effect universe. Part of the reason I think it's always become so famous isn't just the fact that the gameplay is good, it's the characters and the lore. If you haven't already, I definitely advise you check out the Mass Effect books and the Mass Effect comics, because these give us a bunch of extra history and stuff. A lot of them were even written by the original guy who did the original games we all love. But what's coming next? My biggest hope for the next Mass Effect and for the Mass Effect trilogy is keep it simple, keep it rooted, keep it focused on the original vision. 100% the reason I think that Mass Effect exploded the way it did is that it didn't try and have giant plot twists. It didn't try and be this exuberant 500-hour masterpiece. Every game was just a simple quest. Stop the elusive man. Try and destroy the Reapers. Every game felt like it was just so grounded. We felt like Shepard. When you made your custom hero and did your custom quest, it felt like it actually mattered. You yourself were saving Earth. I'm hoping that for the next series, we go back to the Milky Way. I hope that we actually get a chance to, enjoy our current universe again. Enjoy the galaxy that we already grew up in, so to speak. And more than that, I do hope that they find a way to bring back the characters we already know and love. Nothing particularly against the idea of all the new stuff they tried to establish in Andromeda. I do think that Mass Effect Andromeda gets a little bit too much hate. It's not a great game, but it's not nearly the massive dumpster fire some people make it out to be. But the characters were kind of forgettable in Andromeda. I do hope that if we go back, I hope that it's not super far flung into the future. I hope the next chapter isn't like a giant prequel. There is still so much story that can be told in this universe, and hopefully we see it soon. I mean, it's hard to tell. Obviously, this is the beginning of another console generation. Things are constantly being shook up, but hopefully if E3 is still in existence in 2021, we get some actual gameplay of the Remastered Trilogy. And additionally, I really want to see some stuff about whatever the heck the next chapter of Mass Effect will really be. Stop wasting time with Anthem, BioWare, and focus everything on Mass Effect. Well, these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts because I had to scream about my hype. What do you think about all this? Are you excited for the Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy, or are you more hyped for the future of Mass Effect? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. So here's a true story. While I was recording the intro where I had to lick the controller, my camera messed up twice, which means I have licked this controller 3 times today. I'm gonna go wash it off. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.